Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining us once again on Talk and Fight for another edition of the Friday night panel featuring Mike Orr and myself, Graham Boyce. We're going to rock through a few special events that are happening this particular weekend and then maybe close out with a few memorable occasions that occurred this past year. Why don't you start us off, Mike? What do you got?
All right, definitely. Talking fight fans, thanks for tuning in on this nice Christmas Eve special. There are fights. There are fights this weekend. Believe it or not, boxing fans, you are not left alone to sit by yourself and just open presents without watching fights because we're having it. We have the Malecki Jr. and DeLomba card is going on, and that's starting 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. That's 5 p.m. Pacific, and it's live on Fox. And welterweight prospect and New Jersey native Vito Malecki Jr. will battle Nicholas DeLomba in a 10-round matchup on Saturday. Um, it's headlining Fox PBC Friday Night Action and on Fox Deportes on Christmas Day from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. And it will begin at 8 o'clock, guys. And honestly, Vito Malecki Jr. has cultivated uh, a growing and devoted fan base in his native New Jersey. And he will look to give them all a Christmas Day gift with an electric performance against Nicholas DeLomba in his first heading appearance on Fox. Guys, representing Rosalind Malecki Jr., who's 9-1 with 6 KOs, makes his second straight appearance at the Prudential Center as he bounces back from his first career defeat stop to Noah Kidd in Newark in July on Fox. The 19-year-old began turning heads during an exceptional amateur career where he compiled 147 and 22 record and was named the most outstanding boxer of 2011 Junior National Golden Gloves amongst many accolades before turning pro. So, guys, this is a big card. DeLomba, he's 16-3 with 5 KOs. He put together a 5-fight win streak. He's heading into his most recent bout, which we saw him drop a decision to super lightweight contender Richardson Hitchens, who I talked about this week actually,
Yep.
in February of 2020. Yeah, so we've talked about him. He's coming off, dropping decision to super lightweight Richard Hitchens. Who we've talked about, and you guys got to check out as well. But this is a big card. Also on the card, the co-main event is going to be the 21-year-old Spencer, who is 12-0 with 9 KOs, turned pro in February of 2017, and immediately caught everybody's eye with the combination of speed and power and athleticism. Following his 2020 campaign, the Linden, Michigan native opened 2021 with a first-round TKO over Isaiah Selden, who I've talked about as well. In January on Fox, Spencer continued his march towards world title contention with a wide unanimous decision triumph over James Martin in July. Guys, lots of people on this card, man. Make sure you check it out. He's fighting against born Acapulco, Guerrero, Mexico, Ponce. And he fights out of Rock Island, Illinois. Throughout his pro career that dates back to 2012, this 30-year-old followed up 2016 defeat to Niso Macias with 7 straight wins before 2019. Split decision loss to Thomas Hill. Ponce returned to the ring in June of this year to stop Chris Grays in 3 rounds. So, guys, this is a big card, man. Lots to see on Christmas Day, and also on that card, man. There's a bunch of up and comers. We've got three pro debuts that I've been looking forward to. We got a couple of guys on here that have barely hit the 10 fight mark, so we're gonna see a lot of we're gonna see a lot. Trayvon Marshall, we've had him, we've talked to him before. This kid, man, check him out. You're not gonna want to miss his fight. It's great. I'm super excited for this card, guys. I'm super excited because it's a lot of no-namers that you guys won't know that I've been following since the beginning of their careers. So for me, I'm excited because the whole card's full of a bunch of up-and-comers, which are the future of our sport. And there are some other cards around the world, but I don't think we'll be able to check those out. We've got a card in Germany that's going on. Uh, we got a card in Ghana. We have a card in Tanzania, and we have a card in the Congo. Guys, if you're able to see any of those, let us know. Drop it to us somehow, man. Let us know where we can find the streams because I'm going to definitely be looking for them all weekend. And yeah, that's pretty much all the fights that are really going on this weekend. Not too much, man. It's Christmas, right?
It's Christmas, and give them their due for taking up the fight during the Christmas time. That's great for them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah.
One of the things I wanted to mention as we look back on 2021 was the Olympics, because we were going into that with a bit of trepidation because we didn't know how the judging would turn out. There was a bit of controversy from prior years, but it turned out okay. And we saw some pretty decent fights and some good names emanating out of the Olympics. So I think that was good news for 2021 and the sport of boxing.
Definitely, definitely. What I'm excited for, and what I get to do is I get to go back and watch all the greatest knockouts of the year so far, and I have the wonderful job of picking our winner for the year. So I'm gonna get to go back and relive, the Berchellette knockout, the F.A. Jogba knockout, uh, the Thomas O'Toole knockout, and I mean, like, some of these are some game changing knockouts. There are a lot of guys this year that literally were stopped dead in their tracks.
Yes.
Guys, go back, talkinfight.com, hit it up, check out the Sunday Knockout Award Show. It's there. You can check it, and you can come along with me on this wonderful journey and watch all of our knockout shows and help me pick our winner, man. Because honestly, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to pick the winner because there are so many great ones that we got to see this year.
Although there were some certainly some great knockouts this year. Some of the other honorable mentions in terms of classic fights were the Tyson Fury fight going up against Deontay Wilder and Alexander Usyk going up against Anthony Joshua. Both of
Yeah.
those heavyweight fights were create a lot of interest in the sport of boxing, and again, that's good news for the sport.
And the return of Lomachenko.
Yeah, I wanted to mention too that in these other divisions, as you take a look at not so much how they're changing and not so much how the organizations are helping them change, but there is change, there is movement, not so much in the heavyweight division, but but we have noticed it this past year. Canelo, what the heck? And now everyone's wanting a piece of him, which is fine because that just again creates excitement for the sport, especially in Mexico. Wow, I couldn't believe how many people. I mean, that guy was his picked the biggest hockey star ever, the biggest soccer star ever. And you
Yeah.
talk to Mexican and you mention boxing, Canelo, right off the tip of the tongue. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh, the interesting thing too about this past year was Cambosis, and nobody expected that.
Honestly, I
No,
was kind of, yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but it happened, and it just goes to show you, man, it's anybody's game on any day, really.
yeah,
That's what it
absolutely.
comes down to. You know,
But
he showed up, brought his A game, and Tiafomo didn't. And you know what? It just goes to show, you know. Hey, maybe ring rust does sometimes play a big factor. 20, what's this? Carl from Last Bell, how you doing, brother? Merry Christmas to the UK. 2022 will be the return of Loma. Yes, yes. Big statement. Thank you. He looked amazing in his fight. I can't wait. 2022 is going to definitely be a huge year. One big honorable mention of last year, 2021, definitely the Ebony Bridges and Shannon Courtney match. Uh, what an epic event.
yeah,
Just
I would argue the women stepped it up last year or this past year. Yes, without a
definitely.
doubt.
Well,
Without
we
a
also
doubt.
had the all women's card, the first time ever, which was headlined by Clarissa Shields, where where she became the only boxer, male or female, in history to be undisputed in two different weight classes. So
Yeah,
she made history this year. Women definitely got put on the map. They really stepped it up. They really made some headway, man, in their fight for equality in boxing. They had an epic year this year. And guys, you can check out all our interviews where we talk to these women about how hungry they are and how much they want the equality and how much they want women's boxing to be just boxing, just like I think it should be. But yeah, man, it was great. So it just turned. Apparently, it just turned Christmas Day over there in the UK right now because they are ahead of us. So I guess Santa's already slid down your chimney, eh, Carl? Cheers, brother. Merry Christmas. Yes. There's not really much going on in the world of boxing, except for that couple of cards where people don't really care about Christmas, where they're just going to put it on and fight for us. So that's wonderful. Uh, anything else you can really think of from last year that
No, the only other comment I had about 2021, and it comes in the heels of the Deontay Wilder defeat, and that is too many old boxers taking another fight at the chance of damaging their health for yet another payday.
yeah.
And you know, I mean, Deontay Wilder got damaged,
Yeah.
and although he may not want to admit it, but you take a look at any other sport that has concussion protocol as part of its package deal for these athletes, and they would not let him back in the ring if that was the case. So boxing still has some issues to address with respect to making sure that the health and safety of their fighters is their first priority.
Right.
It's not right now because there's too many older fighters saying, "Yeah, I can take one more fight," and not really. Hey, just because Carl's on the show here, I'll tell and take a look at. I think Jake Paul's only 24 years old. He's bringing in a whole new crop of fighters.
Yeah, he is. He is.
You know?
He's bringing a whole new crop of YouTubers, turn fighters, turn whatever. But you know what? They're just it's entertainment. That's what they're doing, man.
Well,
It's
it
it,
is. I'm not arguing that. I'm just simply saying you're starting to see now an awful lot of competition in the lower ranks
yeah.
that might have been there, but on a global level now. I
Yes.
mean, we're starting to see how Probellum is signing strategic partnerships around the world with all these different boxing clubs, and truly making it a global sport. That's I think that's important too. Um, so what's the other one too? Oh yeah. The other one is Boxer. They've been signing boxers left, right, and center.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They've definitely added to their stable. Uh, they just keep clipping people up. You know.
It was interesting. It was interesting to see Bob Arum's comments about Terence Crawford, though. How Bob Arum was saying, "Oh, I haven't made any money on that." And you're sitting there because everyone likes to talk about pay-per-view numbers and how much, in terms of cash dollars, is generated by pay-per-view. But for
Yeah.
someone like Arum to say that about one of his prize fighters was, to me, surprising. He's
Yeah.
a line.
It
He's a
was.
line. He managed the pay-per-view marketing strategy very well.
Yes. Also, what else is there that we have to mention would be the oh would be would definitely be our Eddie Hearn Eddie Hearn to work with Jake Paul on Serrano versus Taylor fight. Yes, that's another big thing. You know what? Jake Paul signed Amanda Serrano. He's doing her justice, man. As her promoter, he's trying to get her the fights that she wants. Shout out to that, man. I definitely hope that 2022 is the year we get to see Serrano versus Taylor. We were unable to see it this year. This year, honestly, 2022 is one of these years where I hope we get to see the fights that we've been waiting for. Um,
Right.
like let's step it up. Let's get it going in the boxing world. The women are showing that they have no problems. Fighting whoever the hell they want, whenever the hell they want.
Yeah, I'd like to see Serrano, Katie Taylor go toe to toe. That'd be a good fight. And so I'll give a tip of the cap once again to Jake Paul for signing real boxers and giving them real deals and real money so they can eat. I mean, when we have Tim Witherspoon on the show, he'll tell you how broke a lot of these fighters really are and how they're living from hand to mouth. It's not
Yeah,
fair.
man. Yeah,
So
it's unfortunate.
he's giving Amanda Serrano a fighting chance, literally.
Yeah, definitely. Taylor versus Crawford on my wish list. Yeah, man. I can see that one. Definitely. Taylor versus Crawford on a wish list for next year.
Is Taylor back? Is he out of the hospital?
I don't know. I haven't been paying close attention. We got too
Might be
many
a few
too
might be
too,
a few
too
months.
many. I got too many up and comers that I gotta watch right now. We give Jake Paul grief, however he is earning some of her biggest paydays. Exactly. You know what, man? Good for him for that. That's the only part of the. You know what? That's the only respect he gets from me, man. Is the fact that he's actually given these proper, these proper paydays to these fighters. Congrats to that. Hopefully 2022 is the year, though. Hopefully it is the year that we get to see his ass get knocked out, though.
Who in the boxing world does not want to see that? For Christ's sakes! I mean, if he actually steps up and accepts the fight with a boxer other than Tommy Fury.
Oh gosh, like, you know what? He's called out Nate Diaz.
What isn't he?
He called out Nate Diaz, and Nate Diaz is actually a pretty highly decorated boxer. Boxing coach Mark Delagrati from the UFC. Yeah, man, he's called him out. And hey, if Jake Paul is just going to fight fighters and non-boxers who, just go out, get their boxing license to fight him, yeah, Nate Diaz definitely has a great chance of knocking him out. But he's skinny, so maybe we got to get his brother Nick in there to do it. But one thing is I hope this one happens. James Wilson, the Beast. We talked about him way back when we first started. Knuckle Up, I talked about him as a prospect in Australia, ex-footballer turned pro. Taking weekly fights to get them under the way, under his belt, and he has opened up and said that he's ready to take on Jake Paul, and he's got a bit of tutelage there from Mike Tyson, since people are calling him the next Mike Tyson. He does hit like him, he does flow like him, he does throw like him, and he's training really hard, man. And he says that he's ready to take on Jake Paul, and he's ready to do the world the favor of knocking his ass out. So hopefully we get to see that. But let's be real, man. Jake Paul ain't taking no fights that he's losing.
Right.
He's not.
Right. Mind you, that was a good knockout hit.
It was. Yeah. The man's feet were folded flat, like his feet were duck bill.
Lights out. See you later.
Yeah, man. And literally, honestly, what inexperience that was, man. Like, he throws that overhand right, and he just like moved in, and he was like, "Here you go, here you go, here you go."
Yeah, it was good.
Oh man. I don't know. Is there much more to talk about? We've all the fights.
Yeah,
It's Christmas, man. It's Christmas. We got to get Christmas underway. Santa's coming. He's on his way. He's probably having a drink over at Carl's right now. Don't get him too drunk, Carl. Don't get him too drunk. He needs to travel the rest of the world. I know it's already Christmas Day where you are, but our kids still got to get our gifts over here.
Right on. Thanks very much, Mike. I appreciate everything you've done this past year. Fantastic.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to jump on and join this wonderful movement. We're gonna call it the movement of Talk and Fight. Yeah, man, it's been a big year. I can't wait till our end of the year celebration. Our last actual episode of the year is gonna be great. It'll be fun. Shout out to all the fans who definitely came and supported us and joined us on our wonderful journey. Thank you. Merry Christmas to all you guys out there. I guess we're going to sign off. So to all the Talk and Fight fans, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of our hearts here at the Talking Fight family. Thank you for tuning in to the Friday night panel at 7. You know what it is, man. We're bringing you all the best in the world or in boxing to you on a daily basis and a weekly basis. We will not be watching live Talking Fight tomorrow. It's Christmas Day. You guys I'm pretty sure you can watch it yourself because it's free. And to all our fans, thank you again. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel, new topics.
Right on. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, man.
See you, Carl.
Later, Carl.